Renewable Parts is a supply chain management business operating in the wind industry, mainly in the UK. Customers include most of the utilities and service companies in the UK and overseas.
We're involved in remanufacturing parts, both here and supply chain at Renfrew.
Because we are recirculating wind turbine components rather than selling new. We've been ticking all the right boxes for Zero Waste Scotland, so we've had support from Zero Waste Scotland as well. So our own internal R&D department are constantly reviewing what our capabilities are and where we want to invest. As a business, we're looking into reverse engineering, 3D printing, a lot of other advanced technologies. I think digital warehousing is a big thing for us. Sometimes it's really tricky to source component parts, so quite often we have to reverse engineer those parts. We don't necessarily need the parts on the shelf, but we need to have access to them when we need them, so we can reverse engineer those and work in a digital way. I think the main drivers to move to digital manufacturing are really the shift from holding stock of parts. In the UK it can be quite costly to hold that kind of stock. If we can hold the stock digitally, just on file, as CAD drawings and details, then it saves a lot of cost, it saves a lot of space, and it makes the business more lean.
We've got two challenges. One is that we've obviously decided to establish ourselves in rural Argyll, so that in itself poses a number of problems in terms of recruiting. So we're trying to get a connection with the local schools, and generally speaking, young kids from the area go to university and then move off. And so we've got to try and retain that where possible. Recently we've used NMIS in particular to recruit 2 or 3 of our graduates into the business, 2 of which have been taken on as a consequence of the programme that they were on. We're certainly looking at the Skills Academy to support some of our learning processes.
I've been with the company for almost a year. Initially, I graduated with the Open University in October 2020, and I was applying to many jobs and being unsuccessful. And then I came across this scheme known as NMIS, which is National Manufacturing Institute of Scotland, and it's piloted by Strathclyde University and the Scottish Government. I think generally the benefits with this scheme is it gave you 6 months training and allowed you to see how you would fit in with the rest of the team and to see how the company fits in with you.
I think the skills needed are going to change over time. I think there's going to be a move towards more digital technology and more advanced manufacturing processes, so the support from the likes of NMIS is going to be essential for us moving forward with that. We have spoken with NMIS a number of times on the University of Strathclyde about the skills gap, and I think the short courses run through the Manufacturing Skills Academy, there's only so much you can teach in-house, but there maybe aren't that many people within the business that are in a position to teach those skills, so it's new to many of us and not just to the young people, so that's where NMIS could be really helpful.
I think with the experience of it, I've been able to bring current knowledge because of obviously just having graduated recently, and I've been able to bring a fresh sense of adaptability where, as part of my studies, I was required to either review other people's work or create my own work, and that meant that I had to understand how to critically evaluate myself and critically evaluate changes. So I think in that retrospect I've been able to hopefully steer the company towards new techniques or new ways of doing things.
I think for future-proofing business, the investment in skills is really important within the UK. I think there's a lot of work that could be lost to overseas bidders, especially in our line of work in circular economy in the wind industry. And I think for a truly circular economy, you want all that work to be as local as possible, because it's not really an effective circular economy unless you keep the reverse logistics to a minimum as well. I think to other manufacturing companies, I think investing in skills, I would say, is so important to longevity of the company. So for us, we've got a relatively young workforce, and we're investing continuously in their skills and in their growth because they're the future of the business. Seed I've had various engagement with over the last couple of years. We've been lucky enough to receive an award from Seed in the past. can see at these events how important it is to manufacturing businesses and networking within those businesses, because it's critical for growth within not just on one industry but across the country, to have good link up between manufacturing businesses.